Hi guys, I'm Brad at the AKPQS. I'm gonna be going over the $200 SM Invitational tournament that I was partaking in until this morning, in which I unfortunately lost to Drip Legend. So now I'll be going over my series and commentating them all. I had a lot of fun this tour. I built a ton of teams. Think I put in like way more effort than 99% of the people in this tour, but I had a lot of fun doing so I don't regret it. But yeah, I'll just go ahead, get right into it. First round, I was against, well, it wasn't even the first round, it was a play-in, so basically I wasn't decided to be one of the best SM players, so I had to do a play-in against all the other noobs that had to play against him. So I fought Lancer. As you can see, there is only one replay. This was not a very interesting match. I botted him with normalium Z crystal just by accident, and I kept telling him to re-challenge me because he never added Mew. Oh yeah, in the rule set, Mew was unbanned and Hypnosis and all the recent bans were unbanned, so you could choose to play with that if players wanted to. I opted to not play with that for all of the following series, but for this one I did because I think I RFN'd him, so I didn't even think about the rule set. But yeah, back to this series anyways. He kept not challenging me with Mew unbanned, so I kept asking him on Discord, and I think he got a little aggravated. So after game 1, he challenged me again because, you know, I'm locked and stuff, so I can't challenge him with the rule set. And I kept denying it because he wasn't adding Mew, and then he just sent me this, and I won the series. So that was that. I beat him with God Crustal. That was nice. There was not much thinking involved in that series. So I moved on to round 1. In this one, I was against Ecstatic Cold. Ecstatic is a longtime friend of mine, a longtime rival of mine. I'm very scared of him because he picks very confidently and often just knows exactly what I'm picking, especially on ladder, so I felt like I had to build a bit for this series, so that's kind of where all my building started. You can see down here, it's like one of my first teams. I delete all the other teams that I hadn't used this tour, so it's just these tour teams that are in my builder right now. We have here a very stupid Blaziken that is trying to bulk for Charizard Y and a bunch of other things while still being fast, so it leaves with no attack, which was a really terrible set, but it's what my team needed. I have Air Blue Magearna, which is outclassed by Shuckleberry, now that I know, but was possibly the most obvious ground type lure ever, and guess what? Ecstatic fell for it. I kind of predicted he would do that. I think he likes to underthink in some matchups, which might be his flaw because he's like a ladder noob. But maybe I'm just totally reading him wrong here. I think he probably just thought I was actually 3-0'd by Donphan. So that's all for that one. I think that game in particular tilted him pretty hard, so moving forward I'm just like, I had a slight advantage I think in the mental game. Next game I loaded up ICMZ Dragonite, which is the GOAT. It's really bad, but it's really funny. Z Haze restores your health to 100 and blocks some setup. I don't really remember what it does now, but it definitely has some good matchups that normal Dragonite doesn't. Normalium Z Crustal, which is modern tech, and beats Rock Tomb Landorus Therian because Z Smell Smash restores your stats to normal, so you just outspeed at +2, and it can't attack you or else it's gonna get Shell Smash Rock Record in the face anyways. And then Charizard Y and Power Ice was just for like Zygarde and stuff because Dragonite was a fake counter. I don't really know what I was thinking with the Dragonite pick. I guess I thought it would somehow beat Zera, cause it surely was not. Well, it could have beat Empoleon with if it didn't have Icy Wind, but that was likely an Icy Wind Empoleon. I was thinking though it was probably Icy and Victini, but I didn't think he'd click it into my other two mons, assuming this Dragonite was. I just didn't think he clicked in this matchup. I thought he'd go Zera, and I thought he would not be Dragonium Z, rather he'd be what is it, not Z charge, but bulk up outrage. And that would have lost to Dragonite due to haze. But unfortunately, he owned me with this. Sad. So now 1-1. I load up this God Squad. It's Electrium Z Magnezone, Iapapa Necrozma, which is like, it gets really good matchup against the VR, which is why I decided to bring it. And I decided Ecstatic does not have very good matchups against Necrozma looking at his other replays. Yeah, I mean, it's okay, but like, Specs Necrozma kind of 2.50 this team. Stall would pressure it too somewhat, even though it's probably laser focus and pulling on charge. But at least one of the mons probably don't have a boosting move that can beat it. Yeah, it's pretty good against this team too, Hermine and Donphan. So, I guess based off that, I decided to load up this team. I didn't end up clicking Necrozma there, even though it was a pretty good pick into him, but that was because my Magnezone did in fact 3-0. Well, 2.750, because technically he could have Z-moved into my Protect here, but I thought that was really unlikely. I thought he'd rather just fake out and hope I didn't have Protect, because who's assuming a Magnezone has Protect? And he did that, so I beat him 50-50 here between Zap Cannon and Electro Web. I picked right. I went for Electro Web. I think he thought I'd Zap Cannon, I guess, but I don't know. I would never do that, because at Infernate -1, it does not, I still do not outspeed it, so he still would have been faster. Maybe he didn't think about it, I don't know, but I'm gonna say I got the 50-50 right. And then it was pretty easy from there. I think he was Firium Z with Blasphemy and Flare Blitz. Yeah, so 2-1 for me. This one's a best of 5, by the way. They ramped up, so we'll get to that. Like, this Drip Legend series was a best of 11, so was Dritz one. It was kind of stupid. I didn't like it. This was a stupid matchup. We somehow both decided to bring Gigalith at the same on, even though it's like a B- to your Pokemon. But yeah, I assumed he was this set for the matchup, and I kind of picked defense, well, not defensively into it, but I picked thinking a lot about it because it beat Pinsir, obviously. All of his Pokemon beat Pinsir. So it was really between Celesteela, which did well against Gigalith and could have done well against Alolan Muck if it was Metal Sound, but likely not Metal Sound because it's Ecstatic Cold and he doesn't run those types of moves. So I was assuming it was like kind of a 50-50 pick, either Celesteela into Gigalith beats me or Laser Focus Gigalith into Muck Alola beats me. But then there's also the factor that Gigalith was not in fact laser focus, because I don't know, it just didn't seem like an ecstatic move. So it could have been like Choice Band or just like Curse with like Stone Edge, Earthquake, I don't know, man, like Heavy Slam or something. So I was thinking about that a bit, and I'm like, you know what, Muck, I'm already up 2-1. Muck's probably just my best choice. It was a pretty bad matchup for me. He ended up going Celesteela, and he ended up being Specs. I won this matchup. It was a bunch of stall turns. I ended up winning though. It was a little close because of air slash flinches, but I made it out alive. He got pretty salty at me after this game because he does not like stall, and I had to LARP and tell him I actually hated stall and just had to use it on this team. But I secretly enjoy stall, as you'll see in the future. And hint, I love this Gaulier. So that's for that series. I wasn't thinking much about the tour at this time. I was just kind of loading whatever seemed fun. Like, I made this Pinsir team on the fly, and it was probably pretty bad, but I thought it was cool. Pinsir can get a lot of random KOs. Like, if you're trendy 252 Zard, he'll just kill you with Giga Impact. a lot of things seem to be moving away from bulk and putting more in speed, and just Pinsir hits that like good speed tier once it mega evolves like 105 or something, where it can just outspeed and kill them. Like it randomly kills. I mean, of course, Chomp's never been bulky, but it can randomly kill Chomp, Zards, Gardevoir, Lele, a lot of cool things. And it's bulky enough where you can SD on a lot of threats, so it's not too shabby. I kind of like it. Next was close. I think this was a best of 7. Yeah, I think it was best of 7, but we'll see for sure. Game 1. I loaded up this gem of the team. It was Relic Song Meloetta, which is actually pretty cool. On paper, it doesn't get that many matchups because you just get owned once you change into your Relic Song form, but in reality, a lot of Pokemon will click like a setup move versus you turn 1 because you're a Meloetta. So they'll end up not attacking you, and then you can switch to Relic Song form freely. This is my thought process with Lele, which you outspeed, so it could hypothetically attack you and kill you if you're in your Relic Song form, but it usually ends up clicking like Calm Mind against you or something like that. Or yeah, I'm thinking about that right, I'm pretty sure. Same with Primarina, so it has some niche. It's mostly pretty bad though, but I thought it was cool. I also had Air Balloon Magearna again. That was fun. I think Shadow Ball is kind of random. It was just like extra insurance against Metagross, I think, but I'm pretty sure that does not actually beat Metagross. Actually, it was for Slowbro. I think my Metagross answer is Garchomp, which is pretty bad because the Metagross at speed, you just get destroyed. So, yeah. Laser focus on Meloetta Pirouette is pretty cool. Can't think of anything it does right now, but I know it's important. I got this replay open. So, yeah, I want Magearna here. Click the 1-2 like a boss and destroy close. Next game, I loaded up another gem. It was Serperior at Choice Band, which I kind of was inspired from SS. Not many things run Choice Band in SM, but this is like one of the rare ones because it wants both Rock Wrecker and EQ and Rock Blast to be powerful, but it doesn't have like a setup move like Crustle does, like Shell Smash, to get them all to be powerful, so it kind of needs Choice Band. And Avalanche is just a good measure against Dragonite. I'm pretty sure it's 100% reliable Dragonite counter. You might lose to some really powerful special sets, but it's pretty good. I like Serperior a lot. And then we had this Brain Rot EV'd Zeraora. I don't even know what it's for. Or probably something stupid. And then Ghostium Z Latios, which is probably its best set because it beats Gardevoir, Metagross, a lot of Psychic guys because of its speed tier and Calm Mind. Like, I think it's better than regular Draco and Psychic specs sets because it just hits a lot harder. And you're mostly using its typing rather than its stats, if you get what I'm saying. I ended up getting owned though because I was not Dragonium Z, so take back everything I said. If I was Dragonium Z, I won this match, but I really should have clicked Zeraora in this matchup, but that's how the cookie crumbles. I guess I picked Latios knowing I could sub into a Charizard, but I could have just as easily picked Serperior doing that because it could also beat Charizard and it would beat any Magnezone that isn't Specs, which is likely not Specs with the Porygon 2 on the team because that already has ice coverage for all the Ice Mons. That was a pretty bad click on my part. I think I was just picking kind of safe here because I knew Latios would beat Magnezone. I knew it could beat Charizard, and potentially if something dumb happened it could beat P2 too, but in reality it could never beat P2. And I was on my phone so I couldn't really calc, but that was just my fault, that pick. 1-1. This was just a stupid game. I'll let it play out. I brought Z-Screen Serp for the first time, and it was definitely not the last time. This was also Firium Z Primarina for Dragonite. It's kind of underrated, but it was better when QB was unbanned back in like 2018. Now it's just a relic of the past, but it does beat Dragonite semi-consistently. I don't even know who got lucky here. I would say it was me, Close, who got unlucky because he didn't get the Iron Head and T-Wave chance twice. And that seems pretty unlucky, but I don't really know the odds. I think I deserve to win that because it was a Jirachi, and I don't know why I'd bring that during a tournament game. I picked Primarina assuming it basically 3-0'd. I didn't think he'd go Zard in this matchup. It looked like it'd be a weird Zard with a Zygarde on the team. If he was Y, I don't think he'd go it if he thought I was standard Primarina, which would have sub, and then you could just sub on Y and then get into torrent range and kill it, and it would obviously beat Zygarde, so I think Jirachi was kind of guaranteed from him, but I wanted to click Prim for extra insurance against the other two just in case they came out. If it was Y, I was cooked though, but I didn't think he'd click that if it was Y. He'd only click it if it was X. So, there's that game. As you can see, my thought process is not very, there's not much thinking going on. I mostly just click what my heart wants. So, I'm mostly doing this just to go over my stats and my teams, because I think they're interesting. Stakataka is cool. It gives the magic coat / priority +2 spadef, which beats stuff like, I think, Gren? Cow. It's not even in the importable set. I think I stole it from Elo Bandits. Set's compendium. I'm pretty sure it +2 spadef. It has a pretty high spadef set already. I'm pretty sure it beats Gren, which is probably what this team. Nope. It's a roll against Gren, and you need max attacks. That's probably why I didn't bulk for it. Well, I'll spadef Zard. That makes sense now. With 0 dance or anything. And I also used an unoptimal nature. I was being dumb. But this is probably not my best team. But I thought Stack Attack was cool, and it could probably. Yeah, I don't really know why I used it, honestly. I just thought it was cool. But anyways, I did not end up clicking Stack Attack it, even though it would have beat the Volcarona. Yep. Stack Attack was kind of. It was a 1-2 into this team, and I guess I was going safe with Shaman. All my mons are 1-2s. I don't really know why I clicked Shaman here either, because if that was Specs Greninja, no, Shaman kills Specs Greninja. You celebrate, you tank Specs, so it'll be Zera and Greninja. So it makes sense, but overall, I think my I guess he knew I was going Shaman, so good on him. Honestly, I'm not really saying my full thought process because I don't even remember it for some of these series. They were so long ago. This game, I loaded up Scissor, which is basically Registeel but swagger, and people could think you're offensive. The only analysis set for Scissor right now is Stall, but there's definitely offensive options. So, I ended up running Stall though, so I'm not cool for that, but I did have Garchomp Mega on this team, which is actually pretty useless, but it's fun. You can randomly roll stuff like Prim and I think Lele, but that's like all the mileage you're getting out of it. I also had Firium Z Primarina once again on this team, so this was kind of another Dragonite lure because a Fire Blasting or Fire Punching, Earthquaking, like Band Dragonite could destroy all these mons, so let's just scare that away. He didn't end up bringing a Dragonite though, but this was a pretty easy Garchomp? Okay, in retrospect, I would have gone Prim here, but because I think Primitive Prim was pretty obvious, but I probably just saw Mega Garchomp and I was like click, 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 because I thought it was cool and it could sometimes be Prim, but I'm pretty sure I ended up not winning this matchup. Yeah, Oh, he critted, but still Earthquake's not doing much. So, that is your proof that Mega Garchomp is bad. Hoopa, it's Hoopa Unbound, Altaria, Heatran versus Gyarados, Zygarde, Zeraora. This was a pretty clear Altaria pick for me. I don't really know why I wouldn't pick it. Maybe it'll taunt Ice Fang Gyarados, but that still does not beat it. It's still a 50-50, I'm pretty sure. Maybe it was Iron Tail Zeraora or something, which could also maybe taunt. No, Iron Tail would just lose if you didn't Mega, so it would be a 50-50 as well between that and Outrage. And Iron Tail can miss too. Then there's also a chance to taunt Charge, which I'm pretty sure loses to Altaria as well. I felt pretty safe clicking this because I had Hyper Beam, Hyper Voice, Ice Beam, Earthquake, which pretty much destroyed all these Pokemon. So, yeah, I was confident in this click. It's maybe a bad team from close, but maybe it had some tech that I was just ignoring. Choice Band Bulu, because I heard people saying Bulu was bad, and I had to show them that Bulu is actually the GOAT. This is the most obvious. Well, no, it wasn't really. I thought this was actually a pretty well-matched ICMZ Victini, because it had a Bulu for most grounds, and Mega Aggron can beat ground types too with Metal Burst sometimes. So, I thought it was well hidden. I ended up clicking not ICMZ Victini though, because I was pretty sure it'd go I was pretty sure it'd go Gren. This was kind of my only answer to it. I expected him to be Gunk Shot Gren, because otherwise he has no way of dealing with. Well, he could kind of beat Vinny and Primarina with Dragonite, but it's not a super reliable counter and have to be flyinium for that. And I probably had a more crazier reason when I was actually playing this series, but I'm pretty sure I just did not think he was flyinium Dragonite. And anyways, there's still a chance he thought I was Icy Victini, was scared of that, so he went Gren anyways, which was the most logical click in my mind. And you click low kick, probably thought I was Rockium, or it's probably just his best play, but I Metal Bursted and I beat him. Said him GG's. It was a fun series, for sure. It would have been funner if I wasn't playing it in a hospital, but it was fun. Next was Waylaid. This was best of 9, I think. This was a pretty... It was either best of 9 or best of 7. I'm pretty sure it was best of 9. But I pretty cleanly beat him in this series. I think 5-1, unless I'm missing some replays. But I remember I wasn't playing my best this series. It was pretty late at night, and I didn't... I made some big misplays this series, which I kind of regret. So I'll play out this first game. I lost this game. It's the first and only game I lost, I think. It was fightinium Z Meloetta. Right here, yeah. fightinium Z Meloetta. I wanted to click it because it beat Registeel and it beat Gardevoir. And it was more like, I guess Meloetta beats Gardevoir anyways, standard, but it also beats Registeel now because I have Close Combat plus Laser Focus. Plus, I think maybe Scarf Slacking was a roll against Meloetta, but yeah, I thought Slacking was too obvious to click here, and maybe he'd be scared of speed tying Zard. I was pretty sure it was banned Slacking, but if it was banned, it 3-0'd me anyways, so it wasn't really a matter, because, well, it 50-50 me anyways, and I didn't really want to click Zard in this team. I guess I could have, but I was equally scared of both Scarf and banned Slacking, so I was kind of just hoping he wouldn't click and I'd get to show off Meloetta. So, yeah, that's my weird thought process. I just want to click Meloetta basically. This is my first bout with weird Magearna. I really like Magearna. I think I was able to explore it a lot this series. Weakness policy beats every single Dragonite set you could possibly think of, other than maybe a Firium set that clicks like Hurricane turn 1. but yeah, it'll tank any hit Dragonite takes, even like a +1 Earthquake, and it'll hit back with a Flare Cannon, just kills. And it won't get to it KO'd by anything that's not super effective, so you're clear for beating everything. Magnet Rod beats Donphan Golem, which this team was weak to, even though no one uses Donphan or Golem anymore. I think Hidden Power Fire was for crap, I don't even know. Yeah. Normalium Z Crustal, the GOAT I used, and then this is my first time using Volcarona. I have no clue why these EVs were the way they were, but yeah. I clicked Crustal here, and I made a terrible misplay. For some reason I got in my head that I was going to click that Shell Smash was bad because he could Flame Charge into me, but also Rock Blast was bad because he could Outrage into me. So my only option was to hard Rock Wrecker, even though that makes absolutely no sense. So, yep, you watched me get really lucky, and then Gohar started banging in the chat that I was banned Crustal, which didn't even kill through Will-O-Wisp, so it was just a really bad play for me. That's all I have to say. I was a little tilted, even though it was still 1-1 at this point, so you could see I made some mistakes later on. I think the series deserved to be a lot closer than what it was, but yeah. I brought Tapunium to Tapu Lele, which is absolute garbage. It beats like Magearna and Heatran, but loses to literally everything because you need Z-Psychic to actually get anything done. Don't use that. Another Crustal because I love Crustal so much. And Zygar's pretty broken, so I use that. It is really good. I like Zygar a lot. It has some issues, like it can get Tech 4 really easily, like all the HP Ice Mons, and you don't really have a way of getting around stuff that can break through you, like Meloetta or PZ. Like I've tried Confide and it just did not work on Zygarde, and Glare's kind of bad too, so those are just only downsides, but its base set, this is really good. I clicked Zygarde here. You know, looking at these matchups now, I like predict myself to click almost the opposite of what I actually click every time, which is kind of funny. Zygarde was hard read into Aggron. I was pretty sure I predicted him to be Avalanche because his own Dragonite matchup is not that great, so he would have kind of needed it to be reliable against Dragonite, I'm pretty sure. So, and then he was. So, yeah. He was CV Avalanche, which I guess I predicted that preview. I think he thought it would be Zygarde because like it's CV Avalanche, but it did not. I made the dumb mistake of resting, I think, when I could have just E-speeded into 1,000 arrows. I don't really know why. I think I was scared of some imaginary thing, but I just increased my edge of getting critted. That was another pretty poor game for me, so I didn't really feel like I deserved to be up 2-1 at this point, but then we have game 3 or game 4. I'll let it play out. It's kind of hilarious. This is like maximum go hard baiting in the chat, and then I pull off this like crazy T-wave hard swap Magearna. Probably my favorite tech of the tour. You see no way bro in the chat. Looks like I'm getting destroyed now, and he can just rest up if he gets low. And I freaking hard swap him. Yeah. That was so fun. And then I hard swap him again because he calm minds again. It was so funny. Yeah. It was a lot of 50-50s and I won them all. I'm proud of that game. But that one brought me back on my feet for, I guess I was less tilted after that game, is what I can say. Hard swap Magearna is a pretty cool Pokemon though. Where is it? Here. It will beat a lot of standard Magearna counters such as Manaphy, Porygon Z, and Meloetta, because usually they all set up on you turn 1, so you can check that with Thunder Wave just to make sure they're setting up first, then you can hard swap that to get the boosts, and then use Flare Cannon and destroy them. So it's 1, really funny, and 2, actually really viable because it beats like all the standard magearna counters. And yeah, I think magearna is really getting this in. This was a stupid game. I decided to pull up with Custberry Venusaur. It's inspired by SM. It does sleep powder. Doesn't really need it for any matchups, but it'd be funny if like you were gonna lose a matchup, then you click sleep powder and you won it because of that. But this was not a very good team. I clicked Dragonite. I ended up accidentally not E-speeding, even though, well, I didn't have E-speed, but I should have just outraged. I saw Dragon Dance and I saw that it was the same color as Outrage, like, so I clicked that thinking it was Outrage. So that was another really dumb misclick on my part, but I don't know, I was like high off being 4-1 at this point, so I didn't really care, and no one else in the chat really cared, except Ecstatic flamed me for it later. So that was not my best game, but I still won it. And get to the final game. I'm up 4-1 at this point. Waylay probably kind of gave up. I remember he challenged me really fast at this one. That's like a sign that you've given up. So it was pretty much a 50-50 here. I either go guard on Primarina or Donphan, or infernape on Genesect and Donphan. So he's never clicking Donphan here realistically. But then, yeah, he goes Genesect, and I picked correctly infernape into Genesect. It was, yeah, I kind of felt bad for Waylay because Gohar was baiting him really hard in the chat, and then next time I played him it was Milan that was baiting him hard, so, but it was a fun series overall. I enjoyed it. I hope he enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed it. This is when I started getting a little more serious about the tour, because I wasn't like, I think the winner of this would go on to semifinals or finals. Maybe not finals, because then Rhyp lost to Dom. Yeah, let's go on to semifinals against Dom, and then that person will be in winners finals. So I started building a lot more at this point. You'll see a lot of these teams in. I built like 11 teams, so there's like a big gap. I was mostly just building for fun at that point, but you see this is the best 11 right here, so let's get into it. Game 1. Drink some water. I loaded up Phytinium Z Serperior, my new least favorite Pokemon, which using it kind of bite me in the butt game 11 of this series, which you'll see. It's kind of poetic because I started out with Phytinium Z Serp and I ended with it. But yeah, I brought Phytinium Z Serp, a Sylvest Serperior, which also 100% beats Dragonite, I'm pretty sure, and a weird Flame Charge Belly Drum Dragonite. It stole like the analysis set and it added Belly Drum on it, I'm pretty sure for I don't know. Usually I use Belly Drum for Zygarde and Slowbro. I don't know what this one was for. Belly Drum, Belly Drum, Belly Drum. Belly Drum. I guess. Yeah, I don't really know what it was for. Maybe I was trying to like get Belly Drum to be good against, I don't know, because Leaf Storm also like raises your attack. There's probably something obvious that I'm just not thinking of right now, but that was not really a factor in this game. If you were a normal person, you probably thought this Serperior was Leech Seed, like standard, so it was kind of an 03, no, it had a really bad matchup in this matchup, because it would lose to Kamo because of Taunt, and lose to Landers because Sludge Wave just killed. And even though Ambipom runs Adamant, Rhyperior is just kind of a better version of Serperior in that case, because it can beat Ambipom and potentially beat Landers. So I think it was mostly between Kamo and Landers for me. I didn't think Ambipom was really coming out because it lost to Serp. In his mind, it lost to Rhyperior, and it could have lost to a really defensive Charizard. But I thought he'd just go. I don't really know how Legend picked to this point, so I thought he'd just go Landorus because it looked kind of like it could 3-0, And if it was sub, it could potentially be like a Rhyperior that rock wreckers turn 1. Maybe he thought that like I wouldn't know to rock blast or avalanche or something. So I don't know. The analysis set for Rhyperior is it could have choice band, and I'm not sure what the calcs against Landorus are for that, but yeah. So even with choice band bulk, he still could have KO'd through that. So there is a chance that Landorus just hard 3-0, and I think he probably took that. But I ended up just going Z light screen serp and owning. I was super scared of Komodo coming out, but luckily it did not come out. But yeah, that was a pretty cool tech. I watched the video commentary of me versus Drip Legend, and Dom is 100% accurate that I just like taking old techs that he will forget about and using them. It's a hobby of mine. This game was just sad. This was the start of Drip Legend's luck streak, which obviously he can't control, but I think overall I kind of deserved to win this series, but he got quite lucky, so yeah, I laser focused. I should have just suckered here. That would have been 100% win if he clicked Shadow Ball, but I was scared of recover because he could have recovered on a sucker if he predicted me to sucker, and then I would have lost laser focus, so I was just lost. My ball tanks that Shadow Ball. I'm like 90% sure it should have. But yeah, laser focus is cool. It stall breaks a lot of things. Like it could potentially stall break stall Manaphy. And obviously it does this too. I'm pretty sure other sets also can beat this, but this does it cooler. And there's Snatch on it, which if you've seen, Snatch is like 05 in this tour, but it's kind of funny because you can randomly beat stuff that like sub on you, SD on you, which a lot of things want to do because they don't want you to get metal bursted by Mawile. But that didn't come into play in this matchup. So, 1-1. This game, I brought Greninja, Zard X, and Magearna, which I also brought the previous series. So, but I thought I definitely clicked Magearna here, or no, I clicked Zard. I was scared of something being clicked defensively against Magearna because even though it was kind of like it was good into a Necrozma because if it was stall you could heart swap the boosts. It was decent into Greninja, although Sub-Torrent would have won, but most sets would have lost to a Magearna, and I don't think it was Sub-Torrent because it has a Dragonite and Necrozma already, which, well, yeah, Dragonite and Necrozma can cover most things that Sub-Torrent covers normally, and it could have beat Dragonite. Actually, it was kind of a 3-0, so I don't really know why I didn't pick it, but I guess I was just thinking that he was like some weird Greninja set that could beat it, like HP Fire or something, because it does look like a pretty bad Magearna matchup on preview. So I clicked Zard Y specifically into Greninja. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. What was this one? Ooh. Okay, now I remember. Scratch that. For Drip Legend's previous series, it was him versus Cass, and I passed him a version of this team that had Greninja, Charizard X, and Magearna. So I built an alternate version with Greninja, Zard Y, and Magearna, all different sets, same order, same everything, because I thought maybe he'd take the bait and it affects the matchup somehow. But it ended up just making my matchup considerably worse, because now I didn't have a 3-0 Magearna, and I couldn't click that into Necrozma. I could still click into Greninja, but it was much less reliable against Dragonite because CB would have whooped it. But I didn't. So yeah, I ended up just clicking Charizard. I predicted him to go Greninja, and that was kind of my only out against. No. I predicted him to go either Necrozma or Greninja, and that was kind of my only out against either. He ended up going Greninja, and I was like, yeah, it's probably like Life Orb Gunk Shot, and it was, which. I'm like, phew, and then I get Dark Pulse flinched, which is kind of sad because I do remember clicking Blast Burn. So, yeah, unfortunately. No, I clicked Flame Charge, but yeah, I clicked the winning move. That's all I remember. But yeah, down 1-2, a little tilted at this point. Next game. Oh, this really tilted me. I was stall crustal this game. I thought it was just time to shine. Stall crustal, where is it? Stall crustal gets a lot of really funny matchups. You beat Slowbro, Zygarde, a bunch of things with it that you would never expect a crustal to beat, and you're actually pretty reliable against it because you get shell armor. So a lot of things don't expect it. You can still beat Zard and Volcarona and most things that a crustal does. I'm pretty sure you beat Donphan and Golem, so it's really interesting. I think you could explore some more. It's kind of like Slowbro. Z-Confide beats Mega Altaria, so yeah, it kind of just flips Crustal's matchups on its head. But in retrospect, I should have clicked Crustal on this team, because there was no way. I guess he could have gone Zera, but I think my Zera was extremely threatening on preview here, and he clicked defensively Charizard into it. But I really should have gone Crustal here. Either Crustal or Prim would have been good. Crustal, both of them have a kind of iffy Gyarados matchup, especially if it's EQ or something weird. But yeah, just anything that wasn't Zera should have been clicked here, really. Yeah, I was choice banned Plasma Fist with no outrage, so I ended up having to Plasma Fist. You see, I didn't take the timer down because I thought hopefully he'd like overthink it and just not Mega turn 1, but he ended up making the right call and Megaing, which, I don't know, I probably would have clicked Outrage if I had it, but I don't really know what I'd do in that situation. It was a good call on him to Mega, that's all. I don't know why he Outraged though, he should have DD'd or something else. If he was no setup, I get that, but like, DD is always a play there, yeah. Game 5, I'm down 1-3 at this point, tilted. See a 3-0 and Chomp. I'm pretty sure. I was thinking Drip Legend Builder, whoever it was probably pretty bad because they loaded a team like Kamo, Landorus, and Ambipom, and I'm like, no way that's actually good. So I'm just like, the builder probably thought Pyukumuku could beat Garchomp when in reality it doesn't. So I just clicked Garchomp and I beat it. I didn't think it was Shuckaberry Magearna because Pyukumuku beats most ground types, so it wouldn't really make sense. He also could have been a Pyukumuku that beat me, but I don't know. I guess I was probably a little tilted at this point combined with other things, so I just decided to click the easy brain dead Garchomp here, and it ended up working, so it was nice. Next, with this game, I think I got water and I came back and I accidentally clicked Greninja. But yeah, it wasn't my best click. Greninja was extremely obvious here because it was clearly gunk shot for anything. But so I could have just gone Zard and like subbed on it because I know I was sub Zard on this team. Where is it? Sableye. Yeah, I was sub Zard, so I really could have clicked that because I think Greninja and Togekiss was probably like the assumed matchup here, and I think he probably would have. I think he always clicked Togekiss here, just given how obvious Greninja was. So I could have gone Charizard and subbed, cause that's like a weird matchup, cause it actually does beat T-Wave Togekiss, but I made the wrong. I made a mistake here. I clicked Greninja and I did get lucky a bit. It was kind of revenge for the other two games, but like it was still a bad play for me, so I was lucky and bad that game. Not so happy about that one. I think it's 2-3 at this point. I bring my Empoleon team, which Empoleon is super good in this metagame. It's like Prim or Finny, but it's Steel type, which has its pros and its cons, but overall, I think it's like A- tier. Laser Focus, Stall breaks a lot of things. Sub gets you in torrent range. Icy Wind gives damage. It's pretty obvious what it does. I ended up not being a factor in this game though, because Zera and Gardevoir handled most. Outrage Zera Aura would have done the works against Charizard, or so I thought, and then I ended up losing like 3 50-50s, so, well, not really 50-50s. The thing is, with this turn, I woke up, you see, I could have Z Plasma Fisted here, but I was really scared to make that play just in case he wasn't sub or anything, but I should have known, like, all DD Zard sets are sub, and he was probably going to make that play. I don't think he thought too much about me clicking Z Electric Fist, because he still could have subbed again even after that, and would have had to click Outrage, and I could have gotten a 2-turn Outrage confusion, so, yeah, it was like a 50-50, but really in his advantage though, and I ended up flaking. I clicked Outrage here, so I ended up getting that confusion. 2-turn confusion, by the way. Yeah, quite unlucky. But yeah, that was a good call from Rhyp. I mean, yeah, this was really his only answer into Zeraora, just clicking sub DD Zard and hoping that he'd win, so he played right to his credit. It's low-key my meme team, but it was actually pretty good. Escavalier is another shell armor Pokemon that gets stall. It's more suited towards Sperries, like it beats Lele, it beats Gardevoir. Iron Head Trolls, you can kind of replace this move with anything, but yeah. Then you have Manaphy at Chestoberry, which is my first time using Stall Manaphy, I think. But I've learned to love this Pokemon. You can, I think you pretty reliably beat Dragonite. You can, yeah, you 50-50 between physical and special Dragonite sets. You 50-50 between physical and special Zards. It's a lot of guessing, a lot of speed ties because you're max speed, but most things don't, most base hunters don't like go up to max speed, so you're outspeeding a lot of things. But yeah, I'd say it's pretty underrated. I saw a lot of people using it. Then there's this. V-Create and Bolt Strike and Fusion Bolt are not compatible together, and I needed a Finny answer, so we have Wild Charge Victini. It's kind of hilarious. I never use it though, because Manaphy just... It lost to Psyshock Lele here, maybe, or Taunt Lele perhaps, but I didn't really think he clicked that, especially with an Escavalier and Victini threatening it, because this could have been HP Ice Victini, Icy and Victini, in which case, I don't know, I wouldn't have clicked Lele into Icy and Victini. I probably would have clicked Zygarde and hoped it wasn't, but yeah, I thought he wasn't really going Lele, and that was my only real threat to Manaphy, so I ended up going that. Plus there's an Escavalier here threatening the Lele too. So yeah, this is a pretty free click from me. Didn't really have to think about this one. This one, I was kind of dumb. You know, I didn't click the Funkymon this game. This game, I did not click the Funkymon either, being Empoleon. So I'm like, I should have clicked the Funkymon this game, if we're thinking about it in that sense. Because he probably expected me not to click the Funkymon again, but if you're following me along here, you know what I mean. But I ended up clicking Prim, and I lost. Regice would have won because it's the GOAT, but yeah, that was a bad click from me, I think. Prim was a defensive click into Metagross. It was my only answer against Metagross. I was sub-Torrent. Metagross could have 3-0'd if I was not Substitute. But, yeah. I still think I should have gone Regice. Kind of mad at myself for that game. Game 10 hype? Yeah, game 10 hype. Here was another bit of a misplay for me. Apparently, I should have just Metal Bursted and not Mega turn 1, but I was really scared of a random Hydro Cannon here from Rhyp. Sableye 3-0'd otherwise. I was Metal Burst. I had to get him down to Life Orb recoil to the point where Metal Burst's Dark Pulse will KO, which was about this range. I played a little bit safe and I went for the yeah, it was a really awkward matchup. Drip Legend was meanwhile getting baited in the chat by Gohar, which is pretty funny. Shout out to Gohar for coming in that series and evading just to help bait him. He's a real one for that. Yeah, this was kind of a misplay for me, but like in the moment, I wasn't even thinking about that. I was thinking about like Dark Pulse rolls and stuff, but yeah, it never really occurred to me that I could just non-mega turn 1 Metal Burst, because I was kind of scared of maybe a Hydro coming out or something, or like a change of sets perhaps, because he used his team already. Again, I didn't really know him, so like I could have thought he would have been doing like anything to win, but it seems like now I realize he's been using the same teams over and over again, so in retrospect, I should just not mega and Metal Bursted. Yeah, I got a little lucky here. No flinch, no anything, but it was kind of funny in the chat. So now it's 5-5. The ultimate game arises. I reused a team which I think is one of my most solid teams. It's the Firium, Z, Primarina, Psychium, Serp, Zard X team. And I really like Drip Legends team because you can never really tell what the Dragonite set on this team is. It's covered up pretty well by Finny and Aegislash, and also you never really know what Aegislash this is because it could be Laser Focus, it could be Metal Sound, in which case it would drastically change the matchup because Laser Focus would beat Psychium Serp and Metal Sound would not beat it. I did not think he would go Aegislash here because it was a potential 0-3, and plus like there was a chance I was Psychium Serp, but like there was a chance I wasn't, and he would have just humiliated himself by going a bad Pokemon by clicking the 0-3 game 11. So I thought that was never really an option, so I ended up just clicking Serp. It was kind of a safe click, but I knew it would have won. I assumed it was Choice Dragonite because I don't know why. I think I'd seen a team like this from Rumia a couple years ago and it was Choice Dragonite, so that's just what I thought it'd be. And Psychium Serp, I thought had a pretty good matchup against it, but I ended up getting some pretty bad odds. He got confused like once or twice this entire time, ended up winning by like 1, plus I missed a Leaf Storm. So yeah, that was a tilting way to end the series, but he played to his odds, so like give him credit for that. And Bandit was probably his best click there because I would have never really gone anything other than Serp here in the end. And Leech Serp also threatened him equally. Like, D-Knight was his only answer to either way. So, yeah, I could have. Sometimes I think I could have gone Fairy and Primarina and just destroyed the Knight because it was obviously coming out as his only answer to Serp. But I was really scared of that Feeny. Yeah. So that was my first loss. I'm in losers bracket. Had to wait a million years for the losers to catch up to me because I was in like losers semi bracket losers, maybe quarterfinals of losers bracket, but everyone else was way farther behind. So waited for like Dag, Squirtle, all the people down there to play Waylaid. And finally I found out my opponent was Dag. Built some more for this series. You'll see. This team was hilarious. I didn't mean to bring it game 1. It was like a game 5 team. It was Scarf, D-Knight, Tapu Fini. I literally stole a core that Drip Legend used game 11 of D-Knight and Tapu Fini, but I added on I added on Chandelure, which basically is actually a pretty good Pokemon if you use the standard what is it? Ghost TMZ, Shadow Ball, Acid Armor Planes, but it's a really good set. It's kind of like Magearna, but a lot faster, and it can threaten you with a lot of other things because it's a fire type. But I use Grass TMZ because I wanted to lure Gyarados, which does lose to Feeny most of the time, but can kind of take it with Earthquake. So I don't think the lure was very obvious on this team. But the problem was it was only for like, oh, it also lures Prim and Feeny. So yeah, it's a little bit more of an obvious lure than I thought. But he ended up not bringing one of those Pokemon, so I never even clicked it, which was sad. Deck misplayed here. It was Dragonite, Choice Scarf, Iron Head versus Gardevoir is like a real 50-50 in 1v1, because you have to hope that Iron Head doesn't flinch you at least once, and I ended up flinching him first turn, Second turn, he should have just Mega Evolved and clicked Hyper Beam though, because that's a 50% chance to KO Dragonite, and that's better odds than getting, I don't know why he Wisp here. It was not a smart play. But yeah. I technically hacked him, but that was kind of his fault for clicking Wisp. He could have still won that really easily by just clicking Hyper Beam and KOing. Uninvested Hyper Beam, 50% chance to kill. But yeah, I think he was a little tilted because apparently, I don't really follow PL, but he lost a bunch of things or something like that right before this. So yeah, I got game 1. This was best of, I think, best of 9 again. Yeah, we went down to best of 9 from best of 11 because I was in loser's bracket, which was really dumb. No offense, Milan. Thank you for providing $200. Game 2, I loaded. I think I insta-clicked. Ooh. I insta-clicked something here. I think it was Dragonite, but then I realized I really like insta-clicking just for psychology purposes because I think it messes with your opponent's head a bit and gets them a little distracted to focus on what could he be insta-clicking instead of actually thinking about the matchup. But yeah. I think Manaphy was a pretty obvious click in retrospect. There was no reason to click Dragonite because it was definitely Icy and Victini. Because, yeah, and Manaphy does lose to Garchomp, but I think he thought I was Waterium Z Manaphy, which beats Garchomp because it has Icy Wind. So, and I didn't really think Garchomp was an option into Dragonite, which was the only other click here that I can make because magearna loses to everything else. So yeah, I thought Manaphy was pretty safe here, and I think the only real click was between Genesect and Victini for him. So yeah, that was a dub. So great start, 2-0. And then this game happened. I got owned by, well, I saw Gyarados in my screen. I'm like, I have to click Chandelure. But I think he saw through that because I know in his previous series he had a Z Solar Beam Volcarona himself, so he probably predicted that some funky stuff was going on because I had no Feeny counter, no Prim counter on this team. Technically Dragonite can be Feeny and Prim, but you're stretched so thin with Dragonite that you need to run Choice Scarf for some other things like Greninja and stuff. So yeah, in retrospect this is not the best lure to have Chandelure on, but good job on Dag for predicting it. I'm pretty sure this was Z-Bounce Gyarados because he never Mega Evolved it and he was max attack. I don't know why Z-Bounce with a Volcarona. That does not make any sense at all because Z-Bounce is for stuff like grass types and Komodo, which is also covered by Bulu. If you're Dazzling Gleam, I guess. Maybe if you're not Dazzling Gleam you lose, but still, it's really odd to have Z-Bounce in the team. But yeah, he ended up getting a roll. But I don't think the roll mattered because HP Electric actually does not do very much, even though I have it on the team. And I was not modest either, so that was my bad for having a bad lure. I also didn't mean to bring that team game 3, I just loaded up the wrong one. Just happened a couple times in my series. Oh, wait. Not that one. This one. This is my revised version of the Mawile Hoopa Quagsire team. I thought Zard Y had a slightly better matchup against him. Ancient Power is for other Zard Ys. It's kind of a bad team because you 50-50 Zards. You have to guess which one it is, but technically Ancient Power can beat both if Zard X doesn't Mega against you turn 1, which it probably doesn't want to do. So that's something cool, I guess. Always use Air Slash on Zard Y. Right again, bringing back the Snatch Laser Focus. Mawile, this matchup was pretty difficult for me because Prim had a chokehold on Mawile, had a chokehold on a Quag if it was Encore, and had a chokehold on Charizard if it was Sub. And Zard, I was 90% sure it was X, but it still had a good match against Mawile, and it could potentially be good against Zard Y if he knew it was Y. And Nihilego, if it was Specs, it'd be Quag, and it'd be Zard Y. So I was pretty pressured into going Mawile here. I kind of was hoping, since he was Zard X, that maybe I could snatch a Dragon Dance off him, and then like tank a Flare Blitz and kill him with Play Rough. And against I was thinking maybe he'd go Nihiligo here, but he ended up going Prim, which I was really unsure what Prim said he was. I thought maybe he could be Sub, but like Sub is mostly for Metagross and Zards, which he was fine against, and Encore is mostly for Slowbro, which he's also fine against, especially if that's Acid Spray Nihiligo and not Grass Knot. Well, I think Grass Knot beats Slowbro too. And it could have also been Belly Drum Zard for Slowbro, so I really was not sure what the Prim set was. But I didn't really have anything good to go against in it, so I kind of just played defensively, hoping he would not click Prim, but he ended up clicking the right choice. My only out here was snatching on a substitute, stealing a substitute, which he could have done, but he ended up being Encore, I think. And yeah, he didn't even click Encore sub, but I'm 90% sure if he didn't have it, he was not sub. Funnily enough, yeah, he outsped me anyway, so I never won that matchup, even if I clicked Play Rough, but yeah, Snatch was my only out there. Yeah, good job to Dag. Still recording. I brought my broken Zygarde, Lele, and Polion team. Nothing really interesting about this one other than Skill Slop Lele, which is good for sturdy Pokemon and sometimes Dragonite, but not really. And Empoleon is just there. It's a really good Pokemon, I'll tell you. And it can also run Yawn, which is really interesting because I think that's a lot threatening. The analysis sets for it are kind of weird. I don't think this is its best set because it only has water as stab, and this one's pretty good. I don't really like Flash Cannon, but you kind of actually need it for Finny and Prim, but I find always on Empoleon teams I usually have an answer for Finny and Prim, so I don't really need it. And it threatens it enough on preview where they don't really want to click Finny or Prim into it. Dag brought some trash team. I figured it was ICMZ, Pheromosa, and not Victini because of some logic. I knew it was one of them, but ICMZ Victini loses to... I think my logic was ICMZ Victini loses to Garchomp, and Pheromosa beats Garchomp with ICMZ, so it had to be Pheromosa. But there's probably more concrete reasoning that I just forgot. Oh, he needed stored power for Zards. Also, stored power is a fake Zard answer, so yeah, don't use that. So with that knowledge, I decided I had an insanely good matchup because Zygarde could beat Victini and Rotom Wash, Lele could beat Pheromosa and Rotom Wash, and potentially beat Victini too if it was... Well, not really. I could have been like Z-Reflect and like Z-Reflected on the V-Crate and done some stuff. I'm not really sure if it wins that matchup though, but I wasn't anyways, so it didn't really matter. And then Empoleon could beat Victini and sometimes Pheromosa, especially if it misses Focus Blast. I think he clicked my and I think he just clicked his best odds here though. He went for Zygarde and probably hitting Focus Blast against Empoleon. But yeah, it was a hard click for him this matchup because he had like 3-1-2s basically, especially if he didn't really know my sets. So yeah, I just clicked Lele and I won. Yeah, I guess that's what he gets for bringing Rotom Wash and ICMZ Pheromosa on the team. This team I built like at 7 AM in the morning. It was really bad. Assaultist Landorus beats a lot of random stuff, but also loses to a lot of stuff that Landorus should be beating. Beats Meloetta, I think, in Porygon Z, which is not. It beats a lot of stuff that Scarf beats, as well as some like stuff that Scarf loses to because it's choiced. And then it has Iron Tail for like Gardevoir, which is funny, but it's not that great. And I really shouldn't have brought it when it's tight in the series relatively. And there's ICMZ Kyurem, which is outclassed by Dragonium Z, but ICMZ does make you more reliable in Serp, for one thing, which my team was weak to. Laser Focus, Stall Breaks, Substitute is funny. Cress, is hilarious. Charge Beam Cresselia is like a meme from 2017 when it beats Slowbro with Charge Beam, and Crest is just really tanky. And I noticed its analysis set it didn't have one. So, Doug would probably be really confused on preview if he saw Crest. And Crest actually had a pretty good matchup here, because you beat Metagross if it's not laser focus. You scare Pyukumuku. I don't know if you beat it. Maybe you could beat it with some set, like. But if I think he told me he was Spite Pyukumuku, so that beat it. And then it obviously scared Zygarde. I'm pretty sure my set lost to it. So I was never realistically clicking Cresselia against this team. It was really between Kyurem and just Kyurem for me, because I knew he was probably laser focused Metagross or something stupid. And plus the Crest matchup is not reliable against Metagross anyway, so I was just hoping he wouldn't click that and be scared by Lando or Crest and not click it. I just kind of assumed that Puke was coming out, and then you see I got a little lucky, turn 1 freeze here, but I don't really think it mattered. He said it did because he had Spite, but I'm thinking I could have gone in a suitable range where I could just click laser focus and then like KO next turn with Draco, which is like, I only need to get 33% off his health, and I don't think he could have maybe let that slide. He thought I was just standard Z Noble Roar, Roost, whatever. So I don't think it matters as much as on paper it does, but yeah, not much I have to say about that game. Kyurem is cool, laser focus is cool. I was up like 4-2 4-2 at this point, so I was pretty confident. I just brought a good team and I won with it. Where is it? I like thought this team out when I was driving once. Wikiberry Manaphy is for other Manaphy's because I saw he used Stall Manaphy. So I'm like, yeah, why don't I just troll him by using my own? Yeah, because you get more rest turns with Wikiberry because you don't instantly wake up. Then you have 2 just really good mons, Zard and Sarah. I just clicked Manaphy in this team again because like it basically 3-0'd. Like you get a really good match against Victini, all except Scarf, I think. Scarf Trick. Or just Scarf Volt Strike. And then Dragonite you kind of 50-50, but I'm like, I've built the same team before and I'm pretty sure I'd ban Dragonite in this team, so I was pretty confident knowing what I was going to click if the Dragonite came out. And P2 is like, this matchup was weirder than I thought. And there was a lot of chances for Para or Crit, but I ended up not getting any of them. I got kind of lucky this series, but like overall, yeah. Manaphy just 3-0'd him twice, so that was nice. Now we're getting a very recent Waylaid. I played this series like Wednesday. It wasn't my most locked in series. I was in a hotel playing it. It's like 9 p.m. But I had some pretty cool teams ready for him, and I was kind of confident in playing him because I saw like his messages about me in the Discord, and it seemed like he was already pretty tilted about playing me and not that confident. So I'm like, if I just bring some like tilting stuff and take a few games on him, then it'll be pretty easy. It was best of 9 again. I brought this team. There's nothing really crazy to it. It's just a solid team. It was Slowbro, which I saw got good matchups against him. Zero Aura. The EVs are for Metagross, by the way. Laser Focus Victini, which does the funny against Meloetta, I think. Laser Focus can do a couple funny things as Victini, but you need some specific EV spreads for it. I'm pretty sure this one's for Meloetta, but you can run a faster one for PZ. But yeah, otherwise Victini's pretty bad because stored power doesn't even beat Zardex if it runs like any bulk for it. So yeah. I clicked Zero Aura pretty brainlessly in this team. I didn't really think he was going Dragonite. I thought there was a chance he thought I was Icium Victini. I don't really know why, but this just looks like an Icium Victini team, even though it does have I do have a Slowbro on it, but I don't know. It was dumb logic, but I just thought he wouldn't click anything. He would not click Dragonite here. And yeah, he seemed pretty distracted in his series. He was like playing Smash the Potato Chamber right before, so I felt kind of bad like asking him to play then. But yeah. This was Shuckaberry and Polion. Ooh. I might have to peep this. Nah, I can't. Video. Shuckaberry and Polion. It was for basically all ground types. It doesn't beat Donphan or Golem, but I didn't think he'd bring Donphan or Golem. And plus PZ could potentially scare them off because normally recover PZ with, if it wasn't T-Bolt, if it was Shadow Ball instead, it would beat Donphan and Golem. This team was interesting because it had T-Bolt adaptability conversion PZ, which beats Potato Chain Pass Me. This set beats Gren, Celesteela, Magnezone, which all kind of threaten this team otherwise. I mean, not really, but like you could realistically click one of those mons to this team and have a good matchup. So I thought it was cool. Ended up not really being a factor in this matchup though, because PZ was kind of sort of an 0-3. Ended up being zard. We were both max speed DD, and I just won the speed tie, so got a little lucky. He complained about it later, got a little tilted against Milan. Milan was like in and out tilting during the series, and I felt kind of bad, but like obviously I'm not going to try and stop it because like it's to my advantage. But yeah, that was a little annoying. I brought Staraptor. I think he was like very tilted at this point. Staraptor, I clicked it pretty instantly into Charizard. I'm pretty sure it also beat Tapu Lele, and I guess he was scared of Mawile here, but I ended up just clicking Staraptor. It was Z Mirror move, which basically it takes, if you use Z Mirror move after someone else uses a Z move, it takes that Z move and it gives you +2 attack and it uses it back. I saw it in an Elo Bandit video. I'm not sure how many matchups this realistically affects over the standard Staraptor, which is Roost, Feather Dance, Toxic, Brave Bird, but it's really extremely funny. I ended up getting to use it even though standard Feather Dance would have also just won this matchup. But using Mirror Move Outrage like made my day, and it probably made him 200 times more tilted, which is funny, I guess. Staraptor's pretty good. It has a really good speed tier. It's really strong, gets Intimidate, gets Feather Dance, so you can Z Feather Dance and get -4 for the opponent's attack on the first turn. Yeah. Not much to say other than that. I'm a 3-0 at this point. He brings a lone Marowak. I think he clicked really fast at this point, so I'm thinking he just tilted. I made the correct call with Gyarados. It was Earthquake Gyarados, so I had a good matchup against Feeny too if he ended up clicking that, especially if it was Nature's Madness and not Moonblast, which I assumed he was. I don't know why, but I assumed he was, because it doesn't really make sense to be the Z-Radiance Feeny on this team if you already have a lone Marowak, because that's like his big niche is beating Zard Y, but you have a Stone Edge Alolan Marowak right here that can beat it. So yeah, I thought Gyarados was really safe in this team, plus I was up 3-0. It could have been T-Punch Metagross, but I thought his Gyarados counter was probably like slap on a Feeny and use that, but in reality it isn't super reliable against Gyarados, so yeah, I was fine with clicking it, especially because it was up 3-0. Yeah. I thought maybe because it said S-Rank Speed where it was like some counter stuff, so that's why I Dragon Dance turn 1, but Waterfall was a clear KO. Yeah. This was sad. I was snatching Incineroar, Z-Snatch Incineroar. Yes, I was Darkinium Z and not Insinium Z, but last second I ended up switching it to Insinium Z because I got scared, because losing the extra, like, what is it? It's 180 power, and with Darkest Lariat, Z Dark is only like 160 power, and that actually really affects a lot of matchups. You need like as much attack as possible to beat Melo at a lot of things. So you're sacrificing a lot of matchups for just one, which is Magearna. But I also already had a Serperior that beat Magearna at least threatened magearna semi-reliably, but on this team I was Z-screens magearna, so I actually lost to it. And he ended up bringing magearna, so Insanium Z Snatch, it does not beat magearna. You need Darkinium Z Snatch because you get the +2 speed boost when you snatch. You see, here I snatched, I got the Iron Defense boost, but I'm not faster now. Z Snatch gives you that +2 speed, so I would have beat magearna if I was Z Snatch, but yeah, unfortunate. Because like everyone's clicking magearna into this team realistically. Yeah, sad. That's why you never second guess yourself in 1v1. Only leads to losses. I accidentally loaded up this team again. This team is 0-1 going into 0-2 now because I got owned by Gunshot Greninja. I did not expect Gunshot on this team because like Magnezone is a crazy reliable fairy answer, so that was good building by him. I mean, I did not expect that at all, and it basically 3-0'd me. My Greninja answer on this team was Altaria, which was kind of dumb. I had to like, you'd have to 50-50 between Ice Beam and Gunk Shot. I was bulked for Gunk Shot, but I didn't even outspeed it at +1, so it was pretty bad. It was bad against Greninja. I don't know. This team was pretty bad. I should have just started over with Darkinium Z and tried something better. Yeah. So that team's officially 0-2 in the dumps now. I ran it back with hilarious Normalium Z laser focus Blaziken, which is a real threat because Z laser focus gives you +1 attack, so you're getting +1 attack and a crit, and that's like a 50-50 between using that or using protect. So I don't know, I forget what it's for now, but I think it beat Komodo. It can be a lot of things if it just tanks a hit, and then Z laser focus because that's a lot more powerful than a Z Flare Blitz or a Z High Jump Kick or anything. So yeah, this team was originally built around Magnezone. I switched my slots around a lot, so, but yeah, this was the original order right here. HP-based Magnezone is cool for all the dragon ground types or ground flying. I ended up clicking Magnezone. It was pretty clean in this team. He probably thought I was some weird Blaziken that reliably beats those Zards, because like any sane builder would not use Magnezone and Quagsire or combination counter for Zard. So I don't know, I think he was pretty scared as a Zard user into this team. It was Zard X, this was already revealed earlier, so he probably thought I knew he was Zard X and would never go Magnezone because of that, but I ended up just ignoring that and going Magnezone anyways on the Lele. Or probably beat Sableye too unless it was Calm Mind. But yeah. Last game, I could tell he's pretty tilted at this point. I was 1 away from winning and it was like 4-2. So I just decided to load up my theme team, which was Vivacious Virizions, Dancing Diancies, and Hellfire Heatrans. These two were from PL2, they were the finalists, the Virizions and the Diancies, and Hellfire Heatrans was Waylaid's team in PL3, so I thought it was pretty funny, and they actually made a really viable team together. Virizion is my creation, CM, Laser Focus, Focus Blast, breaks through like everything, you take a lot of random special hits. I'm pretty sure this set beats magearna. It beats a lot of random stuff. You just tank like everything as a special mon with this high split F. You beat Gren. I'm pretty sure you control Necrozma. But yeah, it's not a bad set, and Virizion has a lot of options, but I think this is my favorite. Laser Focus on a lot of mons. Random Laser Focus is really good. Rock Tomb, Moonblast, Endeavor Substitute, Diancie is the GOAT because you can sub in non-mega form, get to that low health, and then Endeavor, and then Mega evolves so you're faster next turn, and Moonblast to finish them off. So it's really funny. It's like level 1 Donphan Fear strategies, but like on an actual viable Pokemon. So I really like this Pokemon. Waylaid, no offense, he made an absolutely brain dead play. Apparently he was Watering Z Greninja and he just did not click it for any reason. I guess maybe he thought I was like Pasho Berry Diancie as a lure to Greninja, but like clearly I have a Virizion that has like a billion spadef, so it's obviously that beats it. And I was 3-0 by Greninja the other game too, so like I would have just thought that out. If I was Wayla, I would have just thought that Brad Turney was a bad builder and lost to Greninja. But I think the correct play is always just to water him Z turn 1. I don't really understand why he didn't do that. So I was able to set up a sub when he subbed again, and then for some reason he misplayed yet again. I think he was just really tilted at this point, and he clicked Dark Pulse instead of Watering Z. Maybe he thought I was going to sub again, but I just thought it was some stupid Greninja set that like didn't beat me, so I just clicked Moonblast and I beat him. So yeah, I thought maybe he was like Patai or something, not Watering. So yeah, unfortunately it was pretty tilted at this point. The Tor host Milan was making fun of him in the chat, and he was like actually responding to it, so I felt kind of bad. But yeah. So yeah, I won that series, and then we move on to my final series, which was against Drip Legend. This was this morning. I like talking about them fresh because I forget a lot of like nuances in the series, so this will probably be my most in-depth series that I talk about. I started off with this team. It was built around Spec Stone once again because I think that Pokemon is really cool, and I'm not really coming to play here because having a Spec Stone actually just made my Charizard matchup worse. And I didn't think he was gonna click Gyarados here. I don't think EQ Gyarados makes much sense in this team because it's been established in my previous series against Drip Legend that this is Zard X. So Magnezone was really not a factor in this game. I thought it was mostly between a Zygarde, which has the potential to threaten all three. Of course, he could be Belly Drum Charizard, but I knew he wasn't because he revealed this team last series and it was DD sub. So maybe it was Ice Fang Taunt Gyarados, which I was a little worried about. But if it's Ice Fang, I just didn't really think that was the case. I thought he mostly just kind of lost his Charizard or relied on, he lost mostly to Zygarde and just relied on Zard X to beat it. So I ended up clicking that. I wasn't the best Zygarde set in this team. I was DD sub. I thought he was DD sub on this team, but he ended up not being. He was Wisp, which is interesting. So Wisp sub I think was his set. So that caught me off guard. I still could have won. I just had to fish for substitute turns and Outrage confusing. Unfortunately, he got 3-turn Outrage and did not confuse, so he made it through. All I needed was one of those, but yeah, I lost that. Not much else to that series. I don't think I got unlucky. I think that was like a 50-50 chance for him to confuse or not, but yeah, I didn't really have any other answer to Zard, so we both made our best plays that series. That game. Next, I realized Drip was just reusing teams at this point, so I kind of looked back at replays just to refresh on the sets and stuff. It was Life Orb Greninja, so my Gyarados, I thought it was some weird like HP Electric Greninja maybe, or like, but I'm pretty sure he just lost to Gyarados, which is kind of, I don't really know how he got this far while losing to Gyarados in the tournament. Maybe there's something I'm missing here. Maybe it was like an HP Electric Grass Knot Greninja that I just was not respecting, but I don't know. I think he just lost to Gyarados, which is really funny. I did not Mega Turn 1 in case he was Signal Beam Necrozma, which technically beats non-crunch Gyarados sets. And I did not think he would hard Prismatic Turn 1 if he was Specs, but he was stall anyways, so I just beat him. Yeah. My matchup was really good here, because PZ beat, it was another T-Bolt, really Spadef PZ, so it beat both Necrozma and it beat Greninja. Metagross was really threatening on preview. If Laser Focus beat Necrozma, it was Spadef, so Iron Head Bullet Punch beat Greninja, but it did not have the best matchup against Dragonite, but I didn't really think it was going to go Dragonite anyways against this team, so yeah, Gyarados is kind of free into this team, but all my mons are kind of free into the team, so yeah, really good matchup for me. I didn't mean to load this team. I meant, I'm very impulsive when I accept the challenge one. I meant to load the team above it, which was called Troll, but this one was okay. I wanted to build around Aegislash because I was building against Aegislash, and I'm like, wait, there's a lot of 50-50s that go into playing against Aegislash that I just have to pretend that like I'm gonna win. So why don't I just bring Aegislash and like 50-50 the opponent? So I did that. I ended up not clicking Aegislash in this game. I also had Figgy Berry Crustle, which is good for exactly 2 Pokemon, being Dragonite and Primarina, but it does that really well because you Shell Smash against Primarina, you get into Sturdy 1 HP, but then you recover all the HP because of Figgy Berry, and Aqua Jet can't KO you, so you just kill Primarina, so it's funny for that. And you beat all D-Knight sets because they can't E-Speed on you, and you just get the +2 Shell Smash and Rock Wrecker them, so yeah, it's cool. Thundurus Therian, also cool Pokemon. I thought maybe he could get put off guard. I think it was a pretty obvious spec set. It could have been the Analysis Electrium Z set, but that didn't really make sense in this team because I was super weak to ground types, and that would just make my team super loose to ground types. But so in retrospect, specs was pretty obvious on this team, and it didn't really make a difference in this matchup. I ended up clicking Crustle. I was kind of forced into it. Zera had a really good match against me, so I kind of clicked Crustle defensively, hoping that he'd go Volk instead. But Zera, it beat Aegislash if it was what, Z-Charge, which it wasn't this team, and it beat Thundurus Therian if it was Outrage Fist, which I thought maybe there's like an equal chance that it is, because look at the Zard matchup is kind of mid, so is his Dragon matchup in general is kind of mid, so I really did not know what his set was here, but he ended up just clicking it. I probably would have clicked it if I was him too, so yeah. Wish I had Protect on the Crustle, then I could have won that. Actually, even with Protect, I think I would have had to been Jolly too, and Protect Shell Smashed. But yeah, because they run pretty fast on Electrium. Dom was not funny for this. This was the start of my, I guess you could call it, trolling a bit. I built a lot of really unviable teams for Rhyp that I realized in retrospect they were not very good, and I probably shouldn't have brought them to such like a serious game. But there was this Celebi team, this Pinsir team, this Riolu team, which really is not like terrible. Like it gets good matchup against some teams. And then a bunch of random Custap, and I thought mostly like it could work against him, and like it's SM, so like anything can work against anything. But it actually ended up working on this game because I was Custap Victini, 252 HP, so it was a 6.3% roll for Modest Naganadel to KO this, so it did not get that, luckily, and I was able to double V crate and beat him with Swag. I thought he would never go Landorus here because there was a good chance this was Icy Victini on this team. Even with a Serp, I feel like it still could have been Icium. I feel like I've seen Icium on this type of build before, and plus my other 2 mons were threatening Landorus equally too. So I thought Victini was a really easy click here. Yeah, not much to say. Custap is cool. You change how they have to change how they play against you if you're Custap, and they don't really realize that until turn 2 or 3, where it's already too late. For example, you can beat I think Feeny with the set. I don't know, a lot of random stuff that you wouldn't normally beat. 2v creates it hard. Then I brought my like complete troll team, which is not actually like throwing, but it was just like funny to bring. It was Custap PZ and Custap Victini. The EVs on this sucked. It was way too slow. It really should have been like max speed and no bulk, because like PZ can hit hard enough with no, like it doesn't really need the nasty plot most of the time. But that ended up not being good for me in this game, because look, he's coil Zygarde. I don't really know why I clicked coil here. I guess he thought I would conversion, and then like, I guess there's not much else to click here other than coil, but yeah, I was slower and I nasty plotted and I got owned by the tectonic rage. So yeah, I didn't really think about that on preview. If I did, I would have clicked. I thought I would be faster than the Zygarde, honestly. I kind of forgot about these EVs. I was a little tilted at this point, I guess. But yeah, I assumed this was win. It was a roll against. No, it killed Lele cleanly if it shattered Psych turn 1, which I'm pretty sure all Lele's would do against supporting on Z. And Genesect was a roll, but I didn't think it was coming out. So I thought PZ was a pretty good match against Lele and Zygarde, but he ended up being faster, which was my bad. Crustle would have won against Zygarde with this set. It was a stall set again, which is not terrible. This team did have a lot of holes though, like it lost to a lot of random waters and grounds, but yeah, I think in retrospect I should have clicked Crustle here knowing he was probably going to go Zygarde into his team. And I could have finally shown off stall Crustle to the world, but yeah. This is another reused team by Drip Legend. I remember because 30 minutes ago I was talking about using a Greninja into the Togekiss here. This was a fun game. I don't even remember what I put Substitute Gyarados on, but it ended up working out really nicely for me because Substitute Gyarados has a very good matchup against. Well, actually, it didn't in this case because I undersped the standard analysis Togekiss spread, which I knew he was because he revealed Electrum Z last time in the Greninja game. So yeah, I couldn't sub on the Togekiss in time before he ZT-waved me, so it would have been a really rough matchup. So, but he ended up going Serp anyways. But sub also helped in that matchup because I don't really know why he sub turn 1. I would have hard leech seeded here, or yeah. But I Dragon Danced, and then he protected, which is like the best odds ever for me. I don't really understand this line of play. Maybe I'm missing something, but I would have not done that. So then I was able to sub for free, get a waterfall down, break his sub, then he leaf storms. So I'm able to outrage, and I'm like, let me cash in my luck stat now with this outrage. I think there's a chance I could have DD'd and then Mega'd and then KO'd with him at +2 outrage. Maybe. But I just went for the safe play, which is outrage, because the only option he really had here was maybe protecting for slightly extra health, but I don't think he would have done that in case I subbed again. And yeah, I was confused. I was so happy I did not get that confused. I got a crit, which didn't matter. But yeah, this was pretty nicely played by me. I had to really predict. I was going hard into Heatran, but I ended up being Serp anyways, which was nice. But I was substitute Zardex, which would have been Serp and Togekiss much more reliably. So yeah. I don't really know what I threw at this point. I brought Pinsir, Latios, and Metagross, and it was I mean, they're three. Pinsir's good, Latios is okay, and Metagross is good, but I don't know. I don't think this was the right time or place for these sets. I just really like bringing memes, but like I couldn't control myself in this one. I should have just brought an actually solid team. But Pinsir was like, it was a pretty interesting matchup for Pinsir here because depending on the sets and how Drip Legend played, it could have been a 3-0 or an 0-3. I wasn't really sure what his Metagross set was. I was thinking maybe it was the standard analysis set, which tanks for Gyarados Crunch at +1 and has T-Punch. And that would have took 2 Earthquakes from my Pinsir, making it beating my Pinsir. But then I'm also like, maybe it's not. Maybe it's a slightly faster variant that isn't fast enough for Pinsir that I could beat with 2 Earthquakes. Plus Pinsir takes an Ice Punch. But So that was the weird variance with metagross, because technically Manaphy is also a Gyarados counter if you tail glow an energy ball, but it's not super reliable, so I could have seen it going anyway. Pinsir can beat Incineroar. You need some Flare Blitz recoil to do so. Plus you need Hyper Cutter, which I was. And Incineroar is a pretty obvious click into this team because you're beating most things except Hyper Cutter Pinsir that you get the roll against. But I think, and then Manaphy Pinsir can also beat because of SD, and you 50-50 Waterium, and I think you just beat Stall Manaphy, but Manaphy wasn't really a factor in this. It was either Incineroar or clicking defensively Metagross into Pinsir if he was. It was either Incineroar, like hard, but he ended up having a Pinsir answer in Metagross, so he ended up clicking that because he was Meteor Mash plus Bullet Punch. So yeah, he was the defensive set though. I've never seen Meteor Mash and Bullet Punch on the defensive set. It's usually Iron Head and Ice Punch and Sub and Earthquake. No, Iron Head and Thunder Punch for Gyarados. But yeah, he owned me that game. I could have gone Ghost Team Z Latios, but I was really thinking he'd just be banking on Incineroar. And I wasn't really sure what his Metagross set was, so I didn't think he. I thought it was too risky to click Latios into it, but yeah, he read me like a book. I was quite tilted at this point. I was down a couple games. It was best of 11. It was not going like this last time, so I was pretty confident going into this series, but at this point I was not nearly as confident as I was. I had a pretty good matchup here. Ferrothorn beat PZ with SD, and Mawile, it kind of fake beat because Fire Fang would beat you, but it could beat some offensive sets that don't have Fire Fang. And I'm pretty sure Taunt Burst also beat me. I would have just Z-Leech seeded into it though and like hope for the best, I guess. I don't really understand how that matchup played out. And then Manaphy, it pressures all three with Icy and Water with his different sets. I don't know if he thought I was Sol or offensive Manaphy, but Icy and Waterium would beat Sock and maybe Mawile depending on what set it is. And then also Scare PZ if it was faster, and then CM would beat some PZs I think, and it would beat some Mawiles. And then Zard was also pretty threatening, so like it was a really variable matchup. I ended up going Manaphy. I really wanted to click Ferrothorn at first, but he ended up clicking Laser Focus Sock. So yeah, I was kind of cooked for that. I didn't really have a good answer to Laser Focus Sock on this team because I wasn't Flame Charge Zard X, so I just lost if he clicked Rock Tomb. I was kind of thrilled by it in retrospect, so I guess I was going for my best odds here by clicking Scald and hoping for the burn, because I had 2 turns to hope for the burn, but I ended up not getting it either turn, so he just killed me with all-out pummeling. And yeah, I was down like, what is it, 9, 6, 3-5 at this point. So yeah, he like insta challenged me this game and then like insta clicked, so it seemed like he just like was playing to his odds that at least he gets 1 win in the next 3 games, which honestly got me really tilted. I also insta clicked, and I don't really know why I clicked Blaziken here. It was realistically just a 50-50 between Blaziken and Quag and Dragonite and Registeel. The matchup was pretty obvious. He went Dragonite, I went Blaziken, I lost, and that was the end of my run. So yeah, as you can see, I built a lot for this tournament, so it was a little sad to see my run end like there. I really wanted to play a Dom in the finals because he destroyed me in all the friendlies that we had, and I thought it'd be a really challenging opponent because he seemed to be like the only other person on the tour that cared as much about me, about like building and stuff and like finding new strategies. And I think we're both really innovating the meta right now with the stuff we're doing, because a lot of people in actual PLO are just bringing standard stuff every single time. So yeah, sad. Anyways, I'll put my builder in the description for this video for all the teams during this tour. I might make a YouTube video later if this one's successful about my personal SMVR and thoughts on the metagame. But yeah, we'll see, I guess. So, bye.